Plan out for the Gemini nation for the next 7 days. Spirit guys, show me what's going on for the Gemini nation. Gemini, somebody's trying to block you. I feel it so heavily. You got a stalker, Gemini. For those of you who just came into the room, I was telling you, Gemini has a stalker, a relentless one. One that is very persistent and quite annoying. Yep, obstacles. The obstacles seem to be coming at work. Let's see what's going on. You might have some obstacles with your kids too around this period of time, Gemini. Maybe something's going on there. Yeah, loud and clear. There might be something that you need to say to someone, and maybe there was something that you said to someone, Gemini Nation or Cross Watcher, and maybe you feel like the message should be loud and clear to someone. Let's see if it is. So you're dealing with a Cancer. Somebody, this is a Leo. What are we talking about? Loud and clear. What is the most limiting belief keeping me from what I want right now? Okay. This seems like this is your spirit guides coming in loud and clear about something. Gemini. You guys are saying you could possibly be limiting yourself. What is the most limiting belief keeping you from what it is that you want, especially when it comes to work? Because spirit guides are saying this is where you face an obstacle. And this could be an obstacle, Gemini or Cross Watcher, where you could be standing in your own way. What story are you telling yourself? When you think about your dreams, what is the first limiting thought that comes to Aqua Nation here? Love your readings. Hey, Norma Alvarez from the Aqua Nation, my fellow Aquarius. Okay, when you think about your dreams, what is the first limiting thought that comes to your mind? If you are not living the life you desire, it is because part of you doesn't believe it is possible, Gemini. It's time to upgrade. Look your belief in the eye. Where did it come from? What new belief are you ready to adopt in its place? How will this change your result? Remember, your belief is the root of your result. Own it, heal it, upgrade it. Yeah, your spirit guides are definitely working with you and through you to help you figure out the mystery to some things in your life that are not really so mysterious. It just seems like there's something that you want, but it could be your own thinking that could be keeping you from something. And it seems that somebody is under the impression that you are holding a grudge. And that could possibly be an obstacle to a particular relationship. It could be a relationship with your children, because your spirit guides are saying that might be a challenge in your relationship as well. Maybe you had a parent that was just very loud, very boisterous, yelled to get their point across. You're forgiving someone, and your spirit guides are saying, are you ready? There might be a relationship on your mind, Gemini or Cross Watcher, where maybe you feel like you genuinely let something go. You genuinely found a way to forgive someone. And maybe the spirit guides are saying, maybe not. Maybe there's still some resentment. Or maybe there's still some thoughts that you think from time to time that kind of bring you back to an unpleasant thought, a hurtful thought. Reveal the truth that has long been hidden. I think there's some family secrets to be real with you. Reveal the truth that has long been hidden. What is this truth about? It might be about what somebody is really feeling. Because that's the challenge in your situation, is forgiveness and finding a way to do so, and finding a way to be vulnerable and open to this. Somebody, Gemini or Cross Watcher, might feel like you lack empathy. But of course, the reading could be reversed. This could be someone else feeling this way, or you could be looking at them this way. They could be looking at you this way. Whether or not it's their perception and just a belief, or if it's just real. That might be how it really is. I think that there is someone that wants to come to you to talk. I think there's a level of fear and anxiety about this conversation taking place, Gemini. Maybe somebody ghosted you, went MIA. This person could possibly be a musician. Maybe they play an instrument. They could be a vocalist, a songwriter. Or there's something with the music connection that kind of brings you back to this person, especially if we're talking about a memory. Somebody's memory of you could possibly be triggered. Did we talk about Mother's Day? No, we didn't. No, we're in Taurus season. I don't know why I thought Mother's Day was in Gemini season. Some of you, maybe your mom is a Gemini. Maybe your mother has passed. Gemini. Maybe she has. It's not a mother figure. It might be someone else, but it seems like it might be hard for you to forgive. Whoever this is, the child might feel that it's hard to forgive a parent for something that happened. Or you're having a hard time forgiving yourself for something that may have happened. Especially if this had something to do with the upbringing of a child. Bear with me, Gemini. Trying to see where spirit guides are taking me with this. It looks like there's an attempted reconciliation, or somebody wants to, but something is preventing this from happening. There's an obstacle with somebody coming to you, because it does look like maybe somebody wants to meet up. They want a reunion. They want to be back together. Now, this person definitely has a guilty conscience. It might be hard for you to tell that this person has a guilty conscience, Gemini. It seems like this person has a really hard exterior, or maybe they're just somebody that just does not really express their emotions, since we're talking about vulnerability and such. Maybe they're just not open. Yeah. Gemini, somebody might feel that it's you. Yeah. Another air sign for some of you. So this is an air sign to air sign relationship. So you're like, you know what? I'm happy it's over. Yeah, you are dealing with a Gemini. This brings me back to the all signs. Because somebody's like, yep. They're happy that it's over. Yeah, somebody has come to the agreement mentally that maybe the two of you are not right for one another. But yeah, there is a level of guilt about this, because somebody is looking back and saying, you know what, I was absolutely careless. Somebody feels like they were careless and blind when it comes to situations that may have happened. Someone could possibly have a military background. It looks like somebody does want to speak to you. Right beneath that is coward. So I feel that maybe somebody does want to approach you with something, especially if this has something to do with forgiveness. And let's see, is there an apology? So if this was not a parent, then this was definitely a mentor. This could be an elder sibling, possibly Gemini. This could be an auntie and uncle. It definitely feels like somebody wants to step up, especially a Virgo, Taurus, Scorpio, Aries, Libra, and Cancer enter your reading. Didn't I say somebody's a Gemini rising? Capricorn moon sign. So someone possibly with a Capricorn moon could be approaching you. Leo is approaching you possibly. Yeah, somebody is definitely realizing that they need to focus on their healing. So that's what this whole thing is about, forgiveness. It's not necessarily about letting somebody off the hook for some sort of injustice, you feel wronged, obviously, in some way. Gemini or cross watcher. You're not letting somebody off the hook, but you are finding a way of letting go of something that just might be weighing you down. But it definitely feels like somebody is looking back on a relationship and they're feeling guilty because of pain that they've caused, damage that they've caused. Ten of Swords, the Tower, right at the top. As soon as I stop shuffling, spirit guides say, this is it. That's what you're struggling with. Forgiveness, letting something go, not necessarily the forgiveness aspect of something, but letting something go. Because spirit guides are saying something has been an obstacle for you. Yeah, I think somebody is struggling with forgiveness. I think somebody wants to talk, obviously, right? We're saying somebody wants to speak to you. but they're too nervous to approach you, or they don't know how to approach you. Especially after there's been an argument, a blow up, or like I said, something that you said. You tried to get your point across and you feel that you were very clear about what you meant. Like what you said is what you meant, and you like goodbye. So I feel that you let somebody go. I don't think somebody wants you to let them go though. Because like I was telling you, even though there's a lot of hurt and pain, there's somebody that wants to reach out to you, wants to drop you a message. You're dealing with a Taurus. So this could definitely be a Taurus. This could be a Taurus Gemini on the cusp. You got a fire sign that's definitely front and center to your reading. It's a fire sign that's definitely interested in you romantically. This could be a completely new person. Temperance is right next to that. So this could definitely be a Sag. I mentioned Leo and I mentioned Aries. Seems like you could be dealing with someone who is well known. Someone could possibly be popular on social media, in the movies. I don't know, media in general. Okay. There's a few other things that are playing out in your life. Seems like you really do care about someone. You just have a very loving, caring heart, Gemini. I think you've been hurt. What was this? This was an earth sign that I was reading for. I believe it was Taurus. You are deciding something. Some of you, maybe you're waiting for a legal decision to be made. Then maybe that's something that's just racking your brain. I think that there is an obstacle that you're dealing with. We're going to address the obstacle in a relationship, but I definitely feel like you're trying to decide whether or not to approach someone. And I think somebody is maybe waiting for you to say something. They're waiting for you to make the first move, Gemini, a cross watcher. It just seems like deep down inside, you know the truth about something. And maybe that's an issue. Maybe somebody did something behind your back, obviously, because you're really hurt. This could have been something that someone said. Obviously, you trusted someone, Gemini, and you were hurt. You are dealing with a Taurus. Taurus Gemini, 19th. That's the cusp. Maybe somebody's birthday is coming up, because this looks like that's what this is. Like this is like a gift-giving holiday. We talked about Mother's Day too, though. So I feel that someone could be contacting you for your birthday, Gemini. Some of you are May Geminis. You are a May Gemini. You might be contacted by a June Gemini. Somebody's getting ready to contact you. Somebody's trying to figure this out. They're making a decision. They're waiting things out, especially if you've been arguing with someone. You've had conflict with someone, or you just have a history of not really being able to communicate effectively with someone, okay? Because like we talked about, there's something that you said. You feel like you were loud and clear, but it seems like somebody has a differing opinion from yours. So I think you have a different version of a story than someone else does. So let's see. They're deciding what? Well, we already established that. Somebody is trying to decide between you and someone else. Somebody feels like this is a complete waste of time waiting for you to say anything. Especially in Aries. Seems like you're worried about a few things. You're concerned that maybe somebody is stepping out on you. Somebody could be bullying you, Gemini. I guess somebody could be bullying Gemini. It's just I have a hard time believing that somebody could bully a Gemini. It just seems like somebody does want to talk. It seems like somebody can't get in touch with you. Okay, so this is kind of leading me to believe that there might be other circumstances. Either you block them, Gemini, Some of you, there could be a legal circumstance that keeps you and this person from talking. Maybe you have a restraining order. Maybe somebody moved on to be in another relationship with somebody else, and maybe this is why you feel like you can't talk to them. Somebody just doesn't know how you would react. I promise you, somebody loves you. They want you to call them, but they feel like you've been silent. It must have been because of the last interaction you had with them. I was telling you, you argued with them. You had a differing opinion. I don't know. Somebody doesn't know how to approach you, but somebody knows that they messed up, and somebody feels completely locked out of your life. This could have been somebody that's pinning the blame on you for their own faults. Maybe Gemini or cross-watcher, you feel like somebody was particularly lazy in this relationship. Maybe you feel like they took the easy way out. Maybe you felt like you were waiting on this person hand and foot or whatever. This could have been like a financial arrangement. Maybe you weren't on the same playing field financially. It looks like somebody was intentionally, for some of you, okay? Some of you, somebody feels like you were intentionally benefiting off of them. Somebody may have felt like Gemini or cross-watcher that you went on to get into another relationship with somebody else. And this could be somebody comparing themselves to who you're with. Or they compare you to them. This could definitely be the case with children. Maybe there's a situation where there's a child that might feel like the parents or caretakers played favorites. Whatever the case is, the point is, Gemini, there's another Gemini for some of you. There's somebody that feels a level of guilt about what happened. And they do. They want you to let it go. They want you to let go of what happened so that maybe the two of you can start over. Okay, I'm trying to figure out what is the issue. What has y'all feeling this way? I just think the two of you were not on the same page. One of you was all in, the other one was playing games. And maybe you feel like this is somebody that talked about you to their friends, talked badly about you, maybe to their friends, their family members. Maybe you feel like you were having to clean up this person's messes emotionally. Like if this is like somebody that came through your life and made a mess of things. Maybe you feel like, especially if this is somebody you co-parent children with. I think somebody might be, they're really about to do it. Gemini or cross-watcher, I think somebody might be coming to your door. I think they might be, and you are dealing with a Taurus, or you are the Taurus Gemini. There's definitely a Gemini that sits in this reading. Obviously, that's who I'm reading for. Like I said, this might be the time period where this person reaches out to you. Yes, this is somebody that wants to start from scratch. They want to start completely over, but they don't know how to, especially now that you know the truth. The truth is completely out about something. And you've been keeping your distance. You've been really quiet. This person has noticed. In some instances, somebody doesn't know if you know the full truth. They don't know. So this is why they're nervous to approach you, because maybe there's something that you are going to bring up and maybe they just don't want to talk about it. Or they're nervous that you're going to say something about something that's just maybe they're not wanting to talk about. You definitely have a connection here, Gemini and cross-watcher, with somebody who's in the military. Is whether or not this is somebody that passed. Oh, this makes a lot of sense. Whether or not this is someone that passed on, or this is someone who is in your life right now. I'm going to go back to this because I saw it, but I didn't know what the connection was until now. I was like, oh, that's just a Virgo. You must have a Virgo in your life. Not that's just a Virgo, as a Virgo is insignificant. I don't mean it in that regard. Let's go back. Somebody has a military connection, but this is also Virgo. You're being contacted by someone that passed away. For some of you, I mentioned to you, somebody has like a veteran status. Or they're active military. Maybe somebody got discharged from the military due to an addiction. That's what this feels like to me. Yeah. And I think you are focusing on your healing. It seems like this is deep healing right now. Maybe that's an obstacle that you faced. Spirit guides say, yep. They confirm it. They say, yes, there is a military connection that you have with somebody. Spirit guides say, yes. No, this makes a lot of sense. Yes. That's what this looks like. Okay. So I mentioned to you, somebody from the afterlife could possibly be reaching out to you, whether or not this person, like I said, they passed on, or they're present in your life, or whatever have you. Somebody wants you to let go of something, and it seems like it's just been very hard for you to do so. So either you're having a connection, a communication from your mother, you're contacting your mother, you're contacting someone. And it seems like whether or not this person is living or they've passed on, you're definitely working through some things connected to your connection with this person, because it definitely feels like you were affected, you were deeply impacted. There was some sort of damage to a relationship that you had, to the point now that you're focused on your healing. Somebody was careless with you. I mentioned to you, this could be a parent-child relationship. This could have been something that happened in your upbringing, Gemini or cross-watcher. And maybe right now you're isolated from this particular person. For some of you were cheated on by this person. Come on, somebody is reaching out. This is a parent reaching out. There's some sort of outreach here, especially a parent-child relationship. If somebody is wondering, they're deciding, should they not? Someone might decide to, yeah, they are. Some of you, it may not play out immediately. It may not play out in the month of May. It may play out a little bit later on. Spirit guides are saying, yes, somebody does want to start over by apologizing. So maybe this isn't the apologetic type. Gemini or cross watcher, and maybe somebody has had to have a talk with their higher selves, or with their creator, to maybe figure some things out in their life. Because it seems like maybe someone was very confused about what they wanted, and maybe now they've kind of figured some things out. Others of you, this seems like you could possibly be considering counseling as you focus on your healing. Some of you, maybe you could possibly be considering going to marriage counseling. Didn't I say you have an annoying stalker? Maybe there's somebody you just wish would stop. I think other people might see what's going on with this stalker situation, Gemini or crosswatcher, and it just seems like they won't. Like they just don't know when to stop. Hi, Norma. Thank you so much for becoming a member. Okay. That's what this looks like. So wherever there's an obstacle in a relationship that you had with someone, this is somebody deciding what they should do about it. Like I said, it's somebody's guilty conscience that brings someone forward that wants to talk about things, wants to heal situations, but a situation may not look obvious. It may not look like you can really genuinely heal a situation with someone, because I mentioned to you, someone feels like it's a waste of time to approach you, maybe because of all the things that they put you through. Some of you, this is family members that could possibly be coming forward. This could be your child, as I mentioned to you, or this is a parent-child relationship and there's a desire to mend it. Siblings even. This could be you mending something with your sibling. Maybe you and your sibling do not get along. You and your auntie just are like oil and water, whatever this happens to be. And some of you, I mentioned to you, Geminis, you're online. This is definitely someone watching you from the sidelines, feeling depressed, feeling sad about the situation, because they don't really feel like, they kind of feel ignored. Could be doing a lot of shopping, Gemini. Maybe you're getting some retail therapy. Somebody hasn't reached out to you because of their phone. Somebody's phone might be cracked. Since we're talking about an obstacle, somebody might be under the impression that, shh, kitty, that someone is deliberately not talking to you, but it might be because their phone is out of commission. They dropped their phone or something like that. Yeah, so if somebody is trying to find you, let's talk about that for a minute. Somebody is trying to find you, especially online. This seems like this is like a starting point for somebody. They want to find you. Somebody might, though, Gemini. This feels like this is not necessary. It could be a creepy thing since we are talking about you having a stalker, but I also feel like somebody is trying to find you. Somebody like is intentionally trying to find you. Maybe it's not a creepy situation. Maybe you already know this person is coming to see you, or you're traveling to go and see someone. Definitely want to have your phone charged and have that Apple Maps, have that Google Maps ready. Something could have you a bit turned around. Something could have you a bit late going somewhere. Got the police in your situation, so you could possibly be stopped by the police. Because it looks like you got to increase police activity in your situation or around you. So you want to make sure that your driving privileges are in order. Is there something you need to pay? Some of you, maybe it's your insurance premium that you need to pay. You have to pay the DMV some fees. Maybe somebody needs a driver's license. Whatever the case, this seems like your spirit guides are saying, Gemini, take care of either your transportation, your vehicle, your driving privileges. Something might have you walking. Or maybe this is somebody needing a ride. Somebody is watching you. Someone could possibly be watching you while you're walking your dog. No, let's talk about it, right? We have this card that said talking smack. Somebody is talking about you. It's interesting. There's definitely something going on with Mother's Day. Maybe this is you, maybe you are. Maybe information is circulating. Maybe some information got back to you, Gemini. And maybe there's somebody you want to walk like a dog. Because it looks like there's somebody that you're absolutely frustrated with. It's because of their mouth. I don't know, Gemini. And then whatever somebody is saying is obviously not true. So I definitely feel like there's rumors being spread about you, Gemini or cross watcher. And you looking for some get back when it comes to somebody running their mouth. Because it definitely feels like somebody is maybe trying to squash. Maybe somebody does want to squash an argument, but I definitely feel like somebody is trying to step on you. You feel trampled, deceived in some sort of way, or this is someone maybe deceiving the public, deceiving other people about you. Since we were talking about obstacles at work, that's my cat. He wants to go outside. Is this all signs or just Gemini? I'm doing all signs tomorrow. Today I'm doing air signs. So Gemini, Libra, Aquarius, I'm doing today. And then tomorrow, EBG, I'm doing all signs. Yeah, this is at work. This might be where somebody is running their mouth. And I think that you see what's going on. And I'm like, why, Gemini? Why are they running their mouth about you? Or vice versa. Maybe this is you. You could be amongst the gossipers. But either way, words are circulating. And somebody's pissed off because of something that they see, take notice of, or something that gets back to them. I say somebody is looking for you. I think you know it. Let's talk about it. We're talking about social media and such, or you work in the media. There is definitely somebody that is on the hunt for you. Every time you post, Gemini, This person is glued to the screen. They want to know what you're talking about. Not all of this is bad energy, though. Not all this is bad press about you. Some people are genuinely tuning in because they love the messages that you have to say. They're here for it. They want to hear what you have to say because somebody feels like maybe you give good advice, or maybe they feel inspired by something that you post. Maybe you are that shoulder to cry on, whether or not this is happening in person or, as I mentioned to you, they see you online. Yeah, you are their shoulder to cry on. This could be someone possibly contacting you for this. Like I said, maybe you are the professional in the situation. Maybe you work in counseling, or you're there to console someone around this period of time. Maybe this does have something to do with the work situation, because this seems like whatever this is that's happening at work, because I was telling you, somebody is looking at you and you're like, will you stop? So I think that there's something at work that is frustrating you. I hope you're not getting into it with somebody at work. Maybe this is your animals going at it. But it seems like if this is not like this seems like this is more so a verbal altercation. But like I said, there's somebody you want to walk like a dog. Maybe something is caught on camera. Maybe this is a TV show that you watch. I'm not sure. But since we're talking about media and things being caught on camera and such, this seems like this could be someone maybe trying to embarrass you in front of other people. Gemini or cross-watcher, or this is something that already happened and this is what you're reflecting on. Like I was mentioning to you before, you could possibly be focused on the bad memories of things that happened. This could be your mom reflecting on your upbringing. But we were talking about this thing happening at work. Tattletale. It's very clear somebody's running their mouth. This doesn't seem like this needs to take priority, Gemini. You know what I mean? These things are happening in the background. Like I said, somebody's mouth is moving, but it doesn't seem like the things that they're saying about, it seems like this is about you. These things are not truthful, or just in general, whether they're saying things about you or somebody that you love, it seems like your instinct will tell you that something about what someone is saying is incorrect. It might have you a bit vexed. You might be very distracted by this whole situation at work. It might be hard for you to concentrate at work because it seems like all this other stuff that's happening in the background. I hope you didn't lose anyone recently, Gemini or cross-watcher, unless this is, like I said, somebody is a Gemini and maybe this is their birthday season. Somebody that passed, maybe they were a Gemini or a Taurus, or their death date is coming up. It just seems like you're reflecting on some old times with someone, and it might take you back to some times, and it might cause you to feel pretty emotional. What is this tattletale situation about, Spirit guys? That's the rumor mill. This is people that are running their mouth about you or about somebody you care about. Obviously, it's bothering you. So I don't know, somebody is maybe trying to air somebody out at work, because let's make it clear, somebody doesn't like you. Somebody's not in a good mood when they see you. Not that they have to be, not that you have to care, but it just seems like you're seeing something about somebody. And yeah, it feels like you feel like somebody's trying to pinpoint you. What am I trying to say? Out you, target you. Because what this looks like, it looks like you just there to go to work. You're there to provide for your family. You got to be a Taurus, Gemini, or somebody is a Taurus. Maybe that's the person that's doing this to you. Somebody's trying to disguise what it is that they're doing, or they're just flat out disguising the truth. We saw this card that says inner truth. So I think that you know the truth about something, but I think that somebody has, like I mentioned to you earlier, a different version of events that may have happened, or they're just flat out lying and causing gossip, causing problems for you at work. This is where you get justice. It says, keep the vigil, justice will triumph. You could be having a candlelight vigil for someone that passed true enough. But your guides are saying justice will triumph, especially if someone had passed away, like somebody's life was taken from them. For some of you Geminis, it seems like someone passed away from a health issue. Maybe they went to get medical intervention too late. It's a mom, a grandmother, fire sign, Aries, Leo, Sag. What some of you might be finding out, maybe through somebody else's mouth, is how deep somebody's addiction is. We talked about that. That somebody needs to focus on their healing. This could be somebody deciding to go to rehab. Maybe this is somebody that you're worried about. Maybe you feel like somebody's addiction is out of control. Maybe this is what's affecting your relationship with someone, possibly a daughter. Maybe some of you grew up with parents that may have had an addiction. There's definitely that situation. Gemini. It just seems like there's a lot going on in the reading. So I'm going to see if I can make it brief. Point is, somebody feels like they effed up. And so, yep, somebody's birthday. So I think that somebody feels like they messed up their chances. They're hoping that you'll open up and then a conversation can happen. But I think that someone is not sure. There's definitely a Pisces. There's a Leo. Some of you, it seems like it's time to move. Some of you could be concerned about selling a property. Maybe there's a property that you've placed for sale and you're waiting to hear back. Maybe you're looking for a buyer. Maybe you've applied for a place, Gemini or cross-watcher. Maybe you've been denied previously. Seems like the answer is yes, coming up. Because it seems like spirit guides are saying you got some stability that's getting ready to come in. I think this is your financial stability. I think something has thrown off your finances. And I think that you're working very hard, possibly Gemini or cross-watcher, to maybe get back on track. But you've had some obstacles, like I mentioned to you, at work. The obstacles could be, like I said, distractions, people that are being a nuisance to you, people that are deceiving. Here, once again, is deception. Birds of a feather flock together, and this is the rumor mill chirping about you. Deception. Maybe some of you, this is like a role that's been reversed. Maybe some of you, the child plays the adult role, in the relationship, like the parental role, that sort of thing. It just seems like you're in a position that maybe you feel like you don't want to be in financially, or someone around you is feeling that way. Somebody has hit is in a deep state of depression, Gemini or cross-watcher. And I think that's why your spirit guides are saying ask an expert, because it seems like something is just, this is something that's really deep and complex, whatever this is that you're dealing with emotionally, because it seems like you've been struggling with something, with a healing process. Spirit guides are saying, yes, this is the time. Gemini or Taurus. You're approaching a Gemini or a Taurus. That's why they're showing me this onion card. This seems like there's something here about layers, like something goes kind of deep. This healing process is not a light one. This is something, Gemini or cross-watcher, that's going to take time. Some of you are dealing with someone who does not want to face their healing, or they don't want to face an addiction, or they don't want to face the fact that maybe they've done something to hurt you, or whatever the case happens to be. This is why this came out earlier. This is why it caught my eye. Your healing process seems like it takes place on a slow and but a deep process here. This might be This healing process may be because there are certain truths that maybe you're finding out about that maybe you didn't know about before. There could be some confessions of some truths that could be coming out. Or this is just some secrets being revealed. Maybe there's some things that maybe I mentioned to you earlier, a family secret. Maybe someone's not telling you all of the details. Or whatever the case happens to be, yeah, you are focusing on your healing from the aftermath of a relationship. We're talking about pick up after yourself. You might feel like I mentioned to you that somebody kind of left a mess of a situation and you're left having to figure it out. And like I mentioned to you before, this could definitely be your child's other parent. They could have left a mess for you to clean up when it happens to do with children. As I mentioned to you, your mom, maybe your mom passed. Your mom, your grandmother, maybe you're taking care of an elderly parent. Maybe you work in healthcare, since we're talking about at your service. Maybe you work in a convalescent home. Or random. Maybe you just might see somebody walking with a cane this week. It might be that simple. But I think for some of you, this is a grandparent or somebody that is elder to you that could be, I don't know, going through something. Let's look at your finances really quickly and let's see. Because we talked about that briefly, that maybe there's been an obstacle to your finances. Maybe some of you, maybe you're moving around. You don't have like a consistent go-to place. Maybe you're not sure what to do or where to go. Maybe you're not sure where to look anymore when it comes to your house hunting. Your spirit guide is saying, whatever the obstacle in your life happens to be, your spirit guide say, listen, that they've got a message for you. They want you to turn in. They want you to hear them out to help you to figure something out where you feel like it's a complete mystery. You're like, I don't know where to even begin with this. Your spirit guides say they've got it. They've got the answers for you. This isn't a riddle that you kind of have to figure out on your own. This is also your ancestors stepping into the reading. Those who have passed, they're helping to bring justice to a particular situation with you, whether this is a legal situation, a legal battle that you're going through, because it looks like the legal battle might be like a jail situation. Somebody could be incarcerated. Somebody could possibly could have been wrongly accused of a crime. Possibly somebody's in jail due to their addiction, whatever the case happens to be, whether this is a spiritual situation or if it's a legal situation, your ancestors are standing beside you. For some of you, I think that there is a relationship that you're thinking about. I think that a situation might be salvageable. There might be a situation that you can resolve with someone, especially with an air sign. There's somebody that you look at as though maybe they don't make logical decisions. So I don't know. But I definitely see someone going toward a water sign of Pisces, Cancer, or Scorpio. Singles, let's talk to you. Now, I'm not talking to every Gemini single out there, but I am talking to those that have a blind spot and may not realize that they have a blind spot when it comes to a relationship. Some of you have a great relationship or could be going on to meet someone and have a loving, healthy, and lasting relationship with someone. If that is you, this is not your message. Go on, continue to be happy with this person. This message is for those of you who are not in that situation. Like I mentioned to you, there's a blind spot. I'm not sure what the blind spot is yet. We did touch on a card that did say deception. So some of you could possibly be being deceived. Again, hard to believe, Gemini, because I think that you're a very intuitive sign. Or I think at the very least, you individually have a very strong intuition. So this seems like you're spiritually gifted. Wow, here we go. We're back at it, the gossip. So maybe somebody is back at it this week, running their mouth. Careful about, I mentioned to you before about how much energy you give this. Somebody is an energy vampire. They're feeding off of this mess. Singles, let's see what's going on. No, you do. You have somebody coming back. So I think that there is somebody that brought you a lot of sorrow. Yeah, if somebody feels like maybe you're just being cold-hearted about things, Gemini or cross-watcher. Maybe it's because you felt like somebody took your kindness for weakness. And now it seems like you're not really as open as you were before. I don't know. Things have obviously changed. Yes, singles, this is exactly what I'm talking about. Let's see if we can start from the beginning. Where is this? Where is the beginning of this reading? Because it does look like somebody could possibly be asking you out. You could definitely be going on a first date with someone. Some of you, since we're talking about children, maybe you're not dating, your kids might be dating. Such as this is a teenager, this is a young adult. And maybe there's something that you see, since we were talking about instinct and such. There might be something that you see that maybe your child doesn't see. Or your niece or nephew, they don't see. Especially with somebody coming back. Who's coming back for some of you singles is a King of Wands. This could be an Aries, a Leo, or Sagittarius. Pisces comes up. You blocked somebody. But I want to talk to those of you who are just starting out talking to somebody. What's going on? Some of you're getting into a relationship with someone who has kids. But this would be someone who doesn't take care of their children or their child. I don't know. This feels like somebody doesn't know if they're ready to kind of fill in the shoes of a like to be like the role model. I'll just flat out say this. Some of you could be meeting someone, maybe somebody that works in law enforcement possibly, but I will tell you this. Somebody that you're getting to know, if you can possibly find out about their dating history, because their dating history may not have been the greatest. The reason I'm saying this is because Gemini, in some instances, let me repeat myself, this is not everyone's story, but this is somebody's story, especially like I mentioned to you, if you have a blind spot, spirit guides are saying you do. Not everyone, but this is meant to be someone's confirmation. Dating history, this is somebody, and the reason I'm mentioning this is because somebody has a pattern of doing things that they've done before. So, because you got this card that says, I've been here before with others. So this is definitely someone who has done something before with somebody else, and they possibly have the ability to do this with you. So it looks like, Gemini, a cross-watcher, you've been through something before. You've obviously been hurt by someone. And your spirit guides are saying, it's not saying be paranoid, but it definitely is saying listen to your instincts. Because it looks like in some instances, Gemini or cross-watcher, somebody could be coming in and they could be looking too good to be true. And it could be this King of Pentacles towards Virgo or Capricorn. Because it seems like maybe after some time, after getting out of a situation that's been very hurtful to you, maybe you are being open-minded and getting to know someone, which in and of itself is not a bad thing. It's good to get to know people and be open to knowing people. Like, you don't have to shut everybody out. Not everyone is a bad person. But your spirit guides are saying, listen to your instincts. Because what this looks like to me, Gemini, is that maybe somebody has a history of cheating, lying, gaslighting, and blaming the other person for their issues and hangups. This seems like somebody has like a back door open for somebody that they used to be with. It's like somebody is attempting to move on. Just the point that I'm trying to make is make sure that you're not a rebound situation. Some of you are being kept a secret. Somebody could be seeing you and they could be casually seeing other people, or they're in a so-called committed relationship with somebody else and you would have no clue. Now, all of a sudden, word is out. Now, everybody seems to have an opinion about you or what you're doing and about your relationship. This seems like it catches a lot of eyes. A lot more people become interested in what it is that you're doing. So like I said, it just seems like your spirit guides are saying, listen to your instinct. And like I said, this might be somebody else around you, Gemini or cross watcher. It just seems like something about this situation gives you some red flags. You're feeling like there's holes in this person's story. I can't really detect it, but I feel like something is going on. Or there's something that you happen to hear. Maybe you hear something. Maybe it's through word of mouth. It could be through their own family members or whomever. And they could be trying to convince you that, no, that's not true. It's just these people don't want me to be happy or whatever have you. I think that there's some truth to the story of maybe some things that you might hear, Gemini or cross watcher, whatever this happens to be. Somebody's not being real. And your spirit guides are saying, don't get caught in the middle of somebody else's drama, because in some instances, some of you might be. Or some of you, this person is coming back and they're still kind of linked to this person. They haven't made a clean break from this past relationship. Some of you that, like I mentioned to you, you are the secret. They're fooling around with somebody else. So this is your spirit guide saying, look before you leap, especially if you're accepting somebody from your past back. It's not to say that in every situation, every Gemini that's listening, that your ex means you harm or they haven't changed. Like I said, I'm talking to a select few. And I said I was going to see about your money. We're going to do this real quick. We talked about you struggling. Gemini or cross watcher, some of you are having conflict with the people that you work with, and this is what's affecting your money, possibly. You got some new opportunities that are opening up. Some of you, especially in the month of May, possibly in the month of June, you might be hearing some good news about a job. There might be a job offer that comes through. Some of you, this is you maybe wanting to get a business up and running, and possibly you might be getting started pretty soon. Something's distracting you, keeping you from maybe a particular goal. It seems like you're going to be celebrating the outcome of something, especially like I mentioned to you, a job offer. And this seems like this is what levels up your financial situation, Gemini or cross watcher. Some of you, this is a raise, this is a promotion. Even though you got some things going on in the background, maybe there are some things that you reported to the higher ups, and maybe you feel like they're not doing anything about it. I don't know. It just seems like you're frustrated at this particular job. Some of you, I think you might move on to do something else, or you're accepting a new position. Yeah. For some of you, the blind spot is that somebody is dealing with somebody at work behind your back. That's what this looks like. Also might be a scenario. Spirit guides, show me anything else for the Gemini nation for the next 7 days. It's the second time that that's happened, where the cards just kind of fall on the floor. Maybe you have a connection with Disney. Random side note. Maybe somebody's name is Nicholas or Nick. Kermit the Frog. I don't know what resemblance that would be. I don't know. Kermit is green. Maybe somebody is green with envy. I think that's the stalker. Let's see. Let's move on to the advice. Holy Spirit, show me what it is for the Gemini nation. What is the advice for the Geminis for the next 7 days? Whoa. Seek. The power of spirit exists in all things. Everything is made of energy, and every single thing in your physical world contains a fragment of spirit, including you. We are all one with spirit and always will be connected to one another. We made that very clear. Your spirit guides are definitely going out of their way to make a connection with you. I mentioned to you, especially your passed on loved ones. Maybe you're seeking answers or you're seeking messages from those that have passed. Some of you could definitely be into psychic mediumship. But I think that you're coming to see that we are all linked, we're all connected, we're all here for a reason. And it could be to help one another see certain things or learn certain lessons. Sounds like there's a person that's coming into your life or has come into your life that has been that for you, that has helped you see certain lessons or helped you see things about yourself. Synchronicity. Are you noticing the signs of synchronicity the spirit world has been sending to you at this time? So a lot of connections here due to spirit. So what leads me to believe that some of you are either tarot readers, you're just very spiritual, possibly tarot, you do some form of divination, maybe palmistry, astrology. Are you noticing the signs of synchronicity that the spirit world has been sending to you at this time? People and situations in your life are not just appearing by coincidence. In reality, they are being guided to you from the spirit world to help you for a specific reason. Confirmation of what I just got finished saying. It could be someone that comes into your life around this period of time that teaches you how to let go. But it definitely feels like the spirit world is trying to connect to you for a particular reason. And I can't say it enough. I know I've said it several times, but those that have passed on have a very specific message for you around this period of time. Gemini. With that, Gemini Nation, this is Conclusion 70 Forecast with Angelic Ascensions. If you'd like to book a personal, the way to do so would be to head over to my website. Thank you, Gemini Nation and Cross Watchers, for tuning in. Have a blessed, beautiful, and productive week. I'll see y'all in the next one. Next zodiac sign will be Libra.